You know, things never go the same every single time. It is what it is. You're human. It's a living animal. A simple thing like moving your leg or her leg or anything like that can change the dynamic of what's going on. Certainly not what I planned. Anyway, we're going to try and run the progesterone test. And dogs do not have the same pain level that we do. And, you know, from training horses all my life, I have a super high pain level. It doesn't bother me. What might bother somebody else doesn't bother me. But, you know, dogs are not the same as humans. At the end of the day, they have a very quick recovery in their brain. Well, this is not necessarily what I wanted to do first thing in the morning, but it's going to be okay. And she'll get to spend some time with her daughter. She'll see Gage in a few minutes here. This is supposed to be educational. But I'm not in a clinic environment where I have 4 other vet techs giving me a hand drawing on a dog that's a little dry, you know? So it is what it is. I was trying to wing it on my own. It bothers me. I'd be lying if I said it didn't. So I like things to go very methodically. And so, you know, it doesn't. But anyway, if I've got enough serum separated, I'm going to go ahead and run the progesterone test. We'll get her number in about 15 minutes. And Gage is ready. I've tested him under the microscope. And he has excellent DNA. Oh boy. So I know there's a couple of 2 or 3 people that have inquired about puppies in the out of Sophie in the last 2 weeks. I wanted to make sure I got her bred and actually confirmed that I got her bred before I allowed anybody to make a move. So the good news is all the people that are waiting on ginormous brindles like Gage, this is your litter. This is it. So it's going to be really amazing. Sophie was bred to Gage before. They throw amazing puppies. This is her 3rd and final litter. That's it. So she's apricot. He's apricot brindle. We're excited because brindle is dominant over apricot. We just know there's going to be lots of really nice brindle pups. So I'm going to check that. Hold it. We're almost there. So, anyway, have y'all seen Samson, the new puppy? He's ridiculous. What I love is the parents of Samson have the same size and body type, and it's right in line with what we're doing here. You know, but first and foremost, we wanted to make sure that, you know, complete and thorough genetic testing is done so that, you know, when we have puppies, we know we've done everything in our power to make sure that there's nothing genetic that, you know, no genetic issues. So, but I don't know if this is going to be enough. That's what I get for trying to prank you today. Guys, it was April Fool's, right? I had a Mega Millions ticket. I messaged my daughter's boyfriend and I said, watch this. It's April Fool's, watch this. I go running upstairs. I'm like, oh, I think I hit the Powerball. Check these numbers. So she's like looking at the ticket. Oh my God, oh my God. She's like, it's a Mega Millions ticket. And then of course I wasn't done there. Had to call Scott and tell him I think I hit the Mega Million. Anybody waiting on this litter? These pups? If the numbers are right, there will be puppies, because she never doesn't catch. So if the numbers are right and I AI her to gauge, you can count on puppies. But I know there's a few people that have contacted me. So it goes by first deposit, first, second, third. If you want first pick, this is your litter. And so tell me what you want, what gender you want, what color you want, so that I know you're right where you want to be. Almost. I'm going to put it in the mini vortex, give it a little zhuzh. We got lucky, guys. It's a good test. Sweet Jesus. We're going to run a standard test. Once I breed her, today, if her numbers are right and I breed her, if you are interested in a puppy, it's going to require a phone call. I just want to ask, are you ready for a puppy? You know, are there any other dogs in the home that are possibly not spayed or neutered? What's your plan in the event that they're not? With the purchase of your puppy, you are not acquiring breeding rights, so a spay-neuter contract will be signed. That's how we work here. Unless you are an established breeder that already has a working program and you are interested in lines with us and what we do, and again, these are not American Mastiffs. These are European, Italian Mastiffs, not to be confused with the Neapolitan Mastiff. These lines are out of Italy, and there's a 35-year legacy that goes along with all the genetic testing and weeding out and breeding out anything undesirable in the Mastiff composition. And so you can get into trouble very quickly with an ill-bred Mastiff. At the risk of sounding redundant, purebred does not necessarily mean well-bred. So that is what sets us apart. It is also the reason why I have never wanted to collaborate with another breeder in the United States. Now on Holly, about a month ago, I was considering using a dog out of Pennsylvania. And I believe she was in Pennsylvania. And you really want to be able to believe and trust everything you hear and some of what you see. But the closer we got to breeding Holly, the story just fell apart. It literally evaporated. You know, things were not matching up. And I was kind of hurt because I don't like to be deceived. I don't like to be lied to, especially when everything we do here is based on transparency. You see when I succeed. You see when I'm struggling a little bit. We're all human. I can tell you on this particular dog and Kiana, my other dog, and Sophie, my vet misses them 2 or 3 times because of their, in Kiana's case, she's so big that even with the shaving the leg, it's a little bit, there's a lot of meat and a lot of muscle. Is she serious? Anyway, so it is what it is. If you are getting into, you think you're going to draw blood on your dogs for maybe you're testing sugar levels or whatever, it certainly is a good idea to start out with a good seasoned mentor that's done it, that doesn't just go, oh, well, I succeed all the time. Because I can tell you right now, if you think you're going to get into breeding and it's all going to go as planned every single time and financially everything's going to be perfect, it doesn't work out that way. I am always going to be upside down with myself. I will never pay myself back. But at the end of the day, I want to share my amazing dogs with the world. We're not just breeding for genetics. We're breeding for this amazing kid-proof temperament. We're breeding for a lot of reasons. And yeah, mostly we sell to nurses, law enforcement, retired law enforcement, retired military. And so, the Mastiff is one of the leading breeds for PTSD and various types of PTSD. And, I have pups in homes of people with complex PTSD, military men that have come home from active combat, law enforcement agents that were hurt during the BLM riots, children with brain tumors that are inoperable. There's, our pups are in homes of people that have trusted us on their journey. A lot of nurses, a lot of law enforcement, a lot of military, some truck drivers. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, whatever you choose to do, you have to do it with the utmost integrity. I could have drawn her before I went live. And when I turned on the camera, you would have seen the sample because I would have tried her enough times. She could have went and laid in the hallway. I would have came on camera with the sample and said, oh, voila, we drew Sophie. But I wanted you to see in real time, there's a lot of variables. Whether or not she drank enough, how much coffee I may or may not have drank, how much water she drank, whether or not you have one person holding her head, possibly sitting behind her so that she can't back up. My case, I made the mistake of not having probably my daughter sitting behind her so she couldn't back up. But again, you watch and then you can see what not to do, and the times I've succeeded and the times, where I've struggled a little bit and said, we go back at it, we just clear our thoughts. One thing I can tell you about working with dogs or training horses or breeding dogs, years and years and years ago, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got was by a fellow horsewoman that we were both showing Western dressage together. And at the time, I was training and breeding quarter horses. And this particular class, I was riding my registered Morgan mare. Her name was Red's Lady Lindsay. Red's Lady Lindsay. I used her for Western dressage. I rode her second level, regular dressage. I did everything with this mare. I hauled her all over Canada and all over this area of the United States, not down Washington or anything like that, but Maine. And so one day she exploded on me in an arena where there were multiple judges there. There was a horse show going on outside. Something goofy happened and she exploded on me. And I mean, it was serious. She scooted sideways. She got so far, she dug her heels in, she reared up on her hind end, and she walked about 15 feet with me in the saddle. It happened so quickly that it startled me. So, and I've been training horses most of my life, but it startled me. It all really played out in less than about 3 minutes, but it was, nonetheless, it was a little frightening. And I got her to come down, and Gina Dunn, who lives on Prince Edward Island in Canada, she became Gina Coker. I showed quarter horse with her, and she had a little experience around Lindsay. She rode over to me, and I was so taken aback because she had never done this on me before. Gina came over and said, well, here's what I have to say. You have to act like that did not happen because you're about to go out in the ring. You have to forget it happened. So that's the best advice I can give to any horse person. Every time you get on your horse, you have to forgive them for whatever did not go right prior, even if it was just prior. You have to take accountability for how you asked, what they did not give correctly. How did you ask? Did you set them up for success? And in the event that something doesn't go right with your horse or your dog, all you can do is stop, acknowledge, what was my part in this? Did I ask correctly? I acknowledge I did not set Sophie up well. I should have had somebody right behind her. Usually I have my daughter sitting behind with her head like this and her arm around her chest. This was my fault. Wasn't the dog's fault. And so in a case with horses, you cannot hold a grudge, or dogs. You do not want your dog or your 1,500-pound or 2,000-pound horse to hold a grudge. So that was the best piece of advice I was ever given besides the old horseman out in Las Vegas that told me you can only raise them colts once. It's true with horses. It's true with dogs. It's true with children. And so, that being said, we just move forward. And so, Sophie has a great temperament, and we're just blessed every day. But we do this because we want to share that with other people. So again, I know 3 or 4 people have contacted me. Not sure if she wanted to be in this brindle litter or the following brindle litter, if she was really thinking black brindle or apricot brindle, one of them. So I know there's about 3 people, but it all goes by first, second, third deposit. If your first deposit, you get first pick. Your second deposit, you get second pick. That's how it goes. So on my puppy, my new puppy, Samson, I was like a horse in the starting gate, on the racetrack. I'm like, Just as soon as I can send money, I'm going to, because I know what I want. I don't want to stand in line. I don't want to have to arm wrestle anybody that looks like A-Rod. And the other person did look like A-Rod, big dude. I sent a message to him joking around, and I said, just so we're clear, I'm putting my deposit in place before you do. I don't want to have to arm wrestle you for that puppy. So we were lucky there was more than one pup to choose from. I have my pup in place, and I got exactly what I wanted. He's going to get exactly what he wants, and the other person's going to get what they want, and it's all good. But as a breeder, we know that in even my relationship and my dealing now with this other breeder, there are a lot of variables. His contract is not like my contract. I'm like, wow, I really should switch to your contract, because it reminds us how many variables there are, and I have to respect his contract. And so, you know, things like once you remove the pup from these premises, my control sort of, you know, I'm not in control anymore, so you have to accept responsibility. And the contracts are the same with each client. I'm no different than the next person that was going to get a puppy. We all signed the same contract. And so where my clients are concerned, you know, they have to understand also that once you take the puppy from here, you have to protect your puppy. You have to look after your puppy. You want to make sure he doesn't get into anything. Parvo. And I think there's a fallacy with vaccinating dogs. I think it's a false sense of security that you think just because you vaccinated him for parvo or leptospirosis that means he'll never catch it. I can promise you, your dog can have his parvo shots and his leptospirosis shots, but if you walk him in a thickly, densely infected area of parvo, your puppy can still contract it. But it's just like the flu vaccine. It probably won't be as bad. But again, you still need to protect your pups even after they're vaccinated. So I recognize that. So I signed the contract like it was no big deal, because I recognize as a breeder how I want people to treat me and treat my puppies. And so I give him that same respect. That's why it was easy to do what I just did. So I'm going to check how many minutes are left on the progesterone machine. Let's find out Sophie's number, and let's get her bred today. Again, if you're thinking about a puppy, this is your litter. Apricots, apricot brindle. These are going to be Gage puppies. Look at Gage at the top of the page, the banner. It's going to be amazing. 38 seconds. Woohoo. Now, we waited a whole week. She was only about a 4. 3 point something last time. So, we're going to see. Everybody say hi. Hi, Joy. How are you, honey? All right, well, here we go, guys. She's perfect. So, she is 22.25. My husband was wrong, said 29. I would like to breed her today. I would cover her tomorrow too, but Leona said tell him to stay. I know you're not going to do that, but she's 22.5. She'll catch, but she's probably only going to have about 3 pups. We breed her tomorrow. She'll probably be up to 25, and we'll have a... We'll check the quick test. She's 22, 25. Now on this test, she's 23. I'll keep this one here. She wants that one for her phone. So here we go, guys. Now, warning, I am going to be bringing Gage in. Or actually, I think I'm not going to collect him on camera because I know there are families and children watching. I'm going to go ahead and collect Gage in the room. I'm going to warm up my microscope. These pups are going to go quick. I can tell you right now, I know there's 3 people sitting waiting to hear that I've bred her. If you're thinking about a puppy, today's your day. Get a phone call in. Let's get a contract done. So let me go. I'm going to go collect Gage. You sit tight. Don't go nowhere. Don't be moving my freaking timers. I know. I really swear to God, I think Chris did it just to aggravate me. So, all right. That's back done. Where the heck are my pockets? Huh?
Still alive.
Is she alive?
No, I said you're still alive.
Yeah, I'm alive. All right, guys, I'm going to go off camera here for a few minutes. I'll maybe get Chris in here to entertain you guys.
I'm not an entertainer.
Get Scott to entertain you guys.
I'm not an entertainer.
You're an entertainer, Ray. All right, I'll be back.
It's over. Dopey. Dopey, come. Dopey. Dopey, come. Dopey. Yeah, so people can see you. Yeah. Can you sit? Sit. Yeah. Come in here so people can see you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good girl. You are. Oh, that girl. You got the puppies. Oh, that's puppies. You're gonna have some gate puppies, huh? We're gonna have some gate puppies.
babe. Don't be. She's gonna break my Mavic in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Come on, bud.
Hey, baby.
Some of these suck. And now here I'm going to be checking Gage's collection under the semen analysis microscope and my lab microscope. And then we're going to AI her. Those of you that do not want to watch that, this would be a good time to leave. I mean, not to be mean, but it's a little, might be too much.
You got it unplugged here.
Do I? And I need you to open the Mavic. Open the Mavic and we'll put the AI.
You using it for this?
Yep, I am. So I'm using a regular AI rod with the Mavic 400 catheter. I need baby wipes to wipe her up. How are you going to do that? You're not going to breathe in the wrong way, I didn't do that.
Got a sample.
Huh?
Yeah, the sample.
That's it. That's it. That's the sample. What do you mean? Who's still with us? Sheila. Good girl, Sophie Dophy.
I don't know, I had it all set up.
Well, I didn't touch nothing. It's all right. Let me see the...
The other one?
All right, set me up the Mavic, please. What's that?
Six-sided up.
I thought I was gonna. Okay,
You're
yeah.
gonna use this today?
Yeah, but I'm gonna use this for the semen. That's for air, correct?
I would just use a standard rod, honestly. It'll be your first time using it and there's too much going on here.
Yeah.
Never had a problem with standard rod.
Yeah, it would be a bad time to goof.
Yep.
Is there baby wipes right behind him? Can I get a little bit of baby wipes? So again, we are going to go ahead and AI her. If you do not want to watch this, I want a wiper. They're right there on the TV stand, I think.
Out there?
Right there around the corner on the TV stand. I just filled them up. All right, Scott, you want to bring her in here and put her over your leg? So, point her towards there. Put her over the leg if you can.
Stop coming
You
down.
hold her tail, babe. Gage gave us about 25.
I'd be better off in front of her.
Good girl. Pull me, pull me. Pull that out. Good girl, mama.
Keep the thumb.
Yeah. Go ahead. That's great.
Alright.
You're a good girl. Mama. And that's it.
Yeah. I'm gonna lay her down and put her.
Lay her down, rub her back, rub her belly. You're a good girl. What? Don't hurt you, mama. keep her steady if you can. She's gonna lose a little bit, but that's okay. Chris, I'm gonna go wash up. You guys talk nice to her.
Hi, so. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
You're blocking the whole thing here. Oops. There. What's that? Yummy. Chris?
Yep.
You want to mark next to the progesterone test strip here, right here, that I actually bred her today on April Fool's
I'll
Day?
put it on the calendar too. I'll get it on the calendar.
You like that?
I'll get it on here. I'll get everything here after. I put it on the calendar out here. Or was she 22, 24?
Gotta look in the book.
Yeah, I'll just say we bred her. I'll put it on the calendar.
Scott say it's about 23 and a half.
Oh, it was 23 on the short test, wasn't it?
Yeah,
All right. Put it on the calendar.
I got 22. Oh, I took the 23, you took the 22 one. Depending on what you want for litter size, we know she'll catch. I would breed her tomorrow. I'm not sure how you want to pull that off, or if you just want to pass and. I mean, it takes 48 hours to settle, so. Like that. You love Gage. Gage is your best friend. That your baby daddy? Huh? It was Patton last time. Now it's Gage. So again, this is Sophie's third and final litter. What's your plan? I would leave her sitting here for about half an hour anyway. What did she say? She go over this. She go over. She go this.
Yeah.
Well, we don't hear nothing from here. So. You're a good girl. Oh, sorry. So Sophie is now bred. Good girl. Well, guys, I want to thank everybody for joining us. It ended up well, didn't start out so good. But again, what we do, we want to show people how it is in real time. That's all. So we will, we'll just keep you posted. 30 days from now, we'll be checking Sophie. And definitely we'll let you know. Sophie is now officially bred to Gage.
Yeah.
And the best is yet to come. Going to be some beautiful Gage puppies. Okay, thank you for joining us. Bye.